Today wasn't an ordinary day for Prince William. Behind the royal titles, formal appearances, and public smiles, there was a deeply emotional moment that touched the hearts of millions. As cameras followed the future king, many viewers noticed something different: a quiet heaviness, an unspoken emotion that words couldn't fully express. The royal family, often seen as strong and composed, faced a moment that reminded the world they are human too. Prince William's expressions, his body language, and the silence between moments told a powerful story, one of responsibility, love, and emotional weight. Fans across the globe paused, asking the same question: what happened today that made this moment so heartbreaking? As support poured in from well-wishers and royal followers, this emotional day became more than just news. It became a shared feeling, connecting Prince William with people everywhere who understand quiet strength during difficult times. The British royal family, an institution that has weathered wars, abdications, and scandals over centuries, often presents an image of unity and continuity to the world. However, behind the polished facades of palace walls and carefully orchestrated public engagements lies a more complex reality, one marked by profound personal struggles, familial fractures, and the immense psychological toll of living under perpetual public scrutiny. In early 2026, these tensions reached a poignant crescendo as two brothers, Prince William, the future king, and Prince Harry, the self-exiled royal, navigated parallel paths of emotional strain, each grappling with their relationship to duty, family, and the relentless media machine that has documented their lives since birth. While William continued his official duties with characteristic stoicism, Harry stood in a London courtroom, his voice cracking with emotion as he described how tabloid coverage had made my wife's life an absolute misery. These simultaneous events offer a rare, unfiltered glimpse into the human cost of royalty, revealing an institution at a critical juncture as it attempts to reconcile centuries-old traditions with the realities of modern life, media scrutiny, and evolving public expectations. On a brisk January morning in London, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, entered the High Court as part of his ongoing legal battle against Associated Newspapers, publisher of the Daily Mail and the Mail on Sunday. This marked his third major lawsuit against British media organizations, continuing his years-long campaign against what he perceives as unlawful intrusion into his private life. The scene was not the grand, wood-paneled courtroom of public imagination, but rather what one reporter described as a kind of raised wooden area behind a computer screen and an array of microphones, in a room resembling a university lecture room kitted out by IKEA. Yet, within this unremarkable setting unfolded remarkable testimony that laid bare decades of accumulated hurt and frustration. Harry's emotional testimony centered on 14 specific articles published between 2001 and 2013, which he claims were based on information gathered through unlawful means, such as phone hacking, deception to obtain private records, and other intrusive methods. He described reading these articles as a recurring traumatic experience and stated that the media had commercialized his life since childhood, delving into every single aspect of my private life. Particularly poignant were his descriptions of how press attention affected his relationships, especially with former girlfriend Chelsea Davy. He recounted in his witness statement, "I was really worried something bad was going to happen when I was in a relationship with Chelsea Davy," revealing a constant state of anxiety about the safety of those close to him. Perhaps the most emotionally charged moment came when Harry's voice cracked as he described the ongoing impact on his wife, Meghan Markle. "They continue coming after me. They have made my wife's life an absolute misery." This statement revealed not only the personal toll of media scrutiny, but also Harry's sense of responsibility and protectiveness toward his family, a trait undoubtedly shaped by the childhood trauma of losing his own mother to a paparazzi chase. His testimony invoked Princess Diana's experiences with the press, creating a powerful intergenerational narrative of media intrusion and its devastating consequences. When asked why he hadn't complained about these articles earlier, Harry cited the royal family's long-standing motto, "Never complain, never explain," suggesting that his former position within the institution prevented him from defending himself or his loved ones. The courtroom exchange was at times tense, with Harry engaging in what observers described as tetchy, scratchy emotional exchanges with Associated Newspapers barrister Anthony White. White suggested that information for the articles might have come from Harry's leaky social circles rather than unlawful methods, a claim Harry vehemently denied. "My social circles were not leaky. I want to make that absolutely clear." He emphasized that he was not friends with any of these journalists. "I never have been," rejecting the suggestion that his social interactions with reporters constituted legitimate sourcing. The emotional weight of the testimony was palpable, with one reporter noting that Harry appeared on the verge of tears as he concluded his evidence, stating, "I think it's fundamentally wrong to put all of us through this again, when all we were asking for was an apology and some accountability." While Harry was confronting his media adversaries in court, his elder brother Prince William was pursuing his royal duties with characteristic dedication, yet seemingly mindful of the family tensions playing out publicly. On January 15, 2026, William visited a family farm in Herefordshire as part of his role as patron of We Are Farming Minds, an organization focused on farmers' mental health. The visit, documented on the Prince and Princess of Wales' official Instagram account, showed William engaging with farmers and discussing the unique psychological challenges they face due to isolation, external pressures, and uncertainty. In his accompanying message, William noted, "Farmers contend with multiple external pressures and considerable uncertainty, which makes supporting their mental health and well-being so important." The choice of cause, mental health advocacy, is particularly significant given William's long-standing work in this area and the obvious relevance to his brother's current public struggles. Just days before Harry's court appearance, William and his wife Catherine participated in joint engagements that some observers interpreted as containing subtle messages of familial unity. On a visit to Scotland, the couple made what was described as a discreet, intimate gesture during a walkabout, putting their arms affectionately around one another while taking a photograph with a fan. While such displays of affection are reportedly uncommon for the typically reserved couple, the timing led to speculation about whether this was a deliberate show of marital solidarity amid family tensions. More explicitly, during a visit to support British curling teams ahead of the Winter Olympics, William and Catherine posed for a group photo with athletes, a gesture some interpreted as support for Harry's Invictus Games initiative, which is set to come to Birmingham in 2027. One media outlet described this as the Waleses seemingly sending a subtle nod to his younger brother with his generous act, though palace officials made no explicit statement confirming this interpretation. The contrast between the brothers' current paths could not be more striking. William, the future monarch, upholding tradition and duty through carefully managed public engagements. Harry, the self-exiled royal, challenging the very institutions and conventions his brother represents. Yet both men, in their different ways, are grappling with the same fundamental issues: the boundaries between public and private life, the psychological toll of constant scrutiny, and the challenge of protecting their families while fulfilling their roles. William's work on mental health advocacy takes on additional resonance in this context, as he promotes openness about psychological struggles while navigating his own family's very public emotional challenges. Amidst these fraternal contrasts and conflicts stands King Charles III, who ascended to the throne under challenging circumstances and now faces the delicate task of maintaining the monarchy's stability while his sons navigate very public difficulties. The search results contain a somewhat cryptic reference to King Charles delivers heartbreaking news about Prince William, though the details are obscured. Regardless of the specifics, this hint at difficult family news underscores the complex position Charles occupies, as both a father concerned for his children's well-being and a monarch responsible for an institution facing numerous challenges.
Charles has witnessed firsthand the destructive potential of media intrusion, having lived through the devastating coverage of his marriage to Diana and its aftermath. Now he watches as his younger son battles many of the same forces that contributed to his mother's tragedy. At the same time, he must support William's preparation for kingship while maintaining at least the appearance of familial unity. This balancing act is made more difficult by the very public nature of Harry's grievances, which include implicit criticisms of the royal institution itself. Harry's testimony about being unable to complain because of the institution I was in directly implicates the monarchy's traditional protocols and their psychological impact on family members. The king's approach to these challenges appears to be one of quiet stability and continuity. While Harry takes his battles to the courtroom and William focuses on his progressive causes within the framework of royal duty, Charles maintains the traditional functions of monarchy. This tripartite dynamic, traditional monarch, modernizing heir, and rebellious former royal, creates a complex public relations challenge for the institution. The palace's communication strategy seems focused on projecting normalcy and continuity, emphasizing the ongoing work of senior royals while not directly addressing the familial tensions or Harry's legal battles. This approach reflects the institution's long-standing preference for discretion and the never complain, never explain philosophy that Harry now explicitly rejects.
The royal family's current challenges unfold against a rapidly changing media landscape that fundamentally alters how the institution is perceived and judged. Where once palace communications could carefully control the royal narrative through a handful of established media outlets, today's digital ecosystem includes social media platforms, international streaming services, and an army of citizen journalists, all contributing to a more fragmented and less controllable public discourse. This transformation is evident in the varied reactions to the brothers' contrasting approaches to their roles and challenges. On social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram, responses to royal events reveal divided public opinion. After images of William and Catherine's affectionate moment in Scotland were shared online, fans responded with comments like, "This is so joyous," and "pure love." Meanwhile, coverage of Harry's court appearance generated heated debates about media ethics, privacy rights, and the royal family's relationship with the press. This digital discourse creates a complex environment for the monarchy, which must navigate both traditional media and direct public engagement through platforms like the Prince and Princess of Wales' official Instagram account.
The monarchy's efforts to adapt to this new media reality are evident in their strategic use of digital platforms. Kensington Palace's Instagram account offers carefully curated glimpses into William and Catherine's official work and family life, presenting a modern but still dignified image of royalty. This approach contrasts sharply with Harry and Meghan's more direct engagement with media through interviews, documentaries, and their own production ventures, a difference that reflects their fundamentally different relationships to the institution and its traditions. Public perception of the royal family in this digital age is increasingly polarized, with generational divides particularly evident. Older demographics may view Harry's legal battles as undignified breaches of royal protocol, while younger audiences often sympathize with his stance against media intrusion and his advocacy for mental health openness, the same causes his brother promotes from within the institution. This creates an unusual dynamic where both brothers appeal to different segments of the public while ostensibly working towards similar goals of greater emotional honesty and media accountability. The monarchy's future relevance may depend on its ability to navigate these competing expectations while maintaining the dignity and continuity that form its foundation.
The current tensions within the royal family, media intrusion, sibling rivalry, conflicts between personal desires and institutional expectations are now without historical precedent. Indeed, the monarchy's history is replete with similar challenges, though their expression has evolved with changing social norms and media technologies. Understanding these historical parallels provides crucial context for the present moment and potential insights into how the institution might navigate its current difficulties. The most obvious historical echo is with Princess Diana's experiences with media intrusion, a connection Harry explicitly made in his court testimony. Diana's tragic death while being pursued by paparazzi created a watershed moment in public attitudes toward media ethics and royal privacy. Yet, as Harry's testimony reveals, practices he considers unlawful and intrusive continued well after his mother's death, suggesting institutional failures to adequately address these issues. The never complain, never explain philosophy that Harry cites as preventing him from defending himself earlier is part of a long-standing royal approach to media relations that prioritizes dignified silence over confrontation, a strategy that may have served the institution in earlier eras, but appears increasingly untenable in today's more aggressive media landscape. Other historical parallels abound. The tension between William and Harry evoked previous royal sibling dynamics, such as the sometimes difficult relationship between Queen Elizabeth II and her sister, Princess Margaret, who chafed against the constraints of her secondary royal status. Like Harry, Margaret sought to carve out a more independent identity, while still being part of the royal family, navigating the complex interplay of privilege and restriction that comes with royal birth. Similarly, Edward VIII's abdication to marry Wallis Simpson represents an earlier instance of personal desires fundamentally conflicting with institutional expectations, a drama that unfolded under intense media scrutiny of its time. What distinguishes the current situation is the unprecedented transparency with which these family dynamics are unfolding. Historical royal conflicts were often shrouded in discretion, with the palace tightly controlling what information reached the public. Today, thanks to social media, tell-all interviews, and legal proceedings like Harry's court case, the inner workings of the royal family are more exposed than ever before. This transparency presents both challenges and opportunities for the institution. While it makes managing the royal image more difficult, it also allows for more authentic connections with the public, particularly younger generations who value honesty and vulnerability in public figures. The monarchy has demonstrated remarkable adaptability throughout its history, evolving from absolute power to constitutional figurehead while maintaining its cultural relevance. Its continued relevance has depended on this ability to change with the times, while preserving essential elements of tradition and continuity. The current challenges represent another test of this adaptive capacity. Can the institution accommodate Harry's more confrontational approach to media relations while maintaining its traditional dignity? Can it support William's modernization efforts from within while preserving the mystique that has long surrounded royalty? How it answers these questions will shape not only the royal family's internal dynamics, but also its public role in the years to come. The events of January 2026, Prince Harry's emotional courtroom testimony, and Prince William's continued royal duties encapsulate the complex challenges facing the modern British monarchy. These parallel narratives reveal an institution grappling with fundamental questions about privacy, family, duty, and adaptation in a rapidly changing world. Harry's quest for accountability from the media represents a break from royal tradition, rejecting the never complain, never explain philosophy in favor of direct confrontation. William's approach, by contrast, works within established frameworks while pushing for gradual change, particularly in areas like mental health advocacy. Both brothers, in their different ways, are responding to the same underlying pressures: the psychological toll of public life, the need to protect their families, and the challenge of finding purpose within or outside the royal institution. The monarchy's future will likely be shaped by how it navigates these tensions between tradition and change, discretion and transparency, institutional preservation and individual well-being. The starkly different paths chosen by William and Harry represent alternative visions of royal life in the 21st century, one reforming from within, the other challenging from without. That both brothers emphasize similar values like mental health awareness and media accountability suggests common ground beneath their apparent differences. How the institution incorporates these concerns while maintaining its essential character will determine its relevance for coming generations. As King Charles III oversees this transitional period, he must balance his roles as father and monarch, recognizing that the monarchy's strength has always depended on its ability to evolve while maintaining continuity. The emotional strains visible in both his sons, William's quiet dedication amid family tensions, Harry's raw courtroom emotion, are human responses to the extraordinary pressures of royal life. How the institution addresses these human needs while fulfilling its public functions may be its most important test in the modern era. The monarchy has weathered many storms throughout its long history, and its survival has always depended on a combination of tradition and adaptation. The current challenges represent another chapter in this ongoing story of institutional evolution, with the human drama of the royal family serving as both its greatest vulnerability and perhaps its most enduring source of public fascination and connection.